Hey folks, Dude here, coming in again, iteration of, not a podcast, because my technology has been kind of screwing me a bit much, but this time I'm going to be talking about good stuff in the realm of knife blog. Yeah, let's just do a knife blog video. So anyway, today's knife blog video is going to be it's going to be me talking about, well, something I already have one of. But this one came up on eBay, and I was like, yeah, it's a user, but it's still in decent shape. I think I'm going to snag on this one. So, price point being what it is, couldn't avoid it, had to get it. So, yeah, obviously appropriately addressed. Of course, obviously the termites got to it and ate all the stuff that personal information has gone blah, 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 blah. So, anyway, packaged very, very nicely. Dude did a very, very nice job in that regard. Okay, obviously, package has been opened, okay? So I've obviously been in there, and I've obviously had, opportunity to address all the stuff in the package. Okay, so literally what are we looking at here is obviously this nice little drawstring bag, which I thought was just a very, very, very nice little touch here. But basically what we have is ourselves an example of, yes, the Spyderco Police. Now, this one, of course, is actually one of the nicer ones, and I might be over-flashing it just a little bit. So, let me try tweaking and tuning my adjustments, as it were. I'll just have to be careful with the angles. Okay, so anyway, this one, of course, being a all-metal, and it is one you can tell this one's very actually early in the realm, because it only has the actual belt clip holes only on the, point down side. Later iterations, of course, had holes, 3 holes here, 3 holes here. Obviously, there's a Phillips, nothing great science involved in that one. Essentially, just, you just use it for what it's worth. You put that thing together and hang it as you wish in your pocket. Now, what's really, really nice about these older guys, and I actually had to put on the glasses here so I could actually read these things. You can see this one's actually kind of nice in the regard. It actually is showing U.S. patent. What is this? 4347665, foreign patents pending, under the patents pending. And it does have the bug right here. The Spyderco bug, as it were. See all the goodness right there? Okay. Obviously, it does say also police on the blade. And this one is actually one of the earlier ones where it actually was stamped into the blade. You can see it's got a little bit of schmutz on there. So it's seen a little bit of use. It's obviously a used piece, and obviously it does show some detail as in being a utilized item. Okay, so let's scroll back out here yet again. Scroll way back out here. I'm actually very close on in terms of the camera. You can see what's really, really nice about this one. As you can see, the blade metal on this one is the ATS 55, and it does say Spyderco on the driver's side of the blade. On the passenger side of the blade, you can see it does say SEKI City, Japan. So this one is one of the actual older guys. Now, like I was saying, the blade profiles in these guys, your classic wide too skinny, wide too skinny, wide too skinny, wide too skinny, classic grinds that Spyderco's been doing forever for all those serrated edges. And this one is actually not a 50-50. This one is the older aspect where it was just enough of a a conventional edge to utilize for secondary purposes, and it is actually, serrated for all the, the hard duty, and, good stuff like that there. I am not going to touch this edge up, mostly because most of the times you try to play with these things, and you just booger it up, okay? It doesn't work out to touch up the serrated edges on these classic guys. You pretty much just use them, and if you do need something sharper, you resharpen the conventional edge. Obviously, this one has seen a little bit of a hard life. The point is not quite as sharp as it should be. Obviously it's been a little bit boogered up, because normally these things actually do have a very, very good point profile. This one's actually been used, played with, obviously, carried, all the good stuff like that there. But I do have to say that, like the blade release is actually still very, very sharp. Inside the thing, it is, it's showing some duty. I actually did clean it up. put some lube on board, and it is it's slicked, literally it's slicked right up. I mean, it basically went right back to the good stuff like that there. Now, the actual measures on this thing, and this is actually one of Spyderco's, if not the biggest folding knife they put out at the time. I don't think it's still the biggest. I think they've actually put out bigger, folders, current aspect of things. But this one was literally the biggest knife they made at the time. So, open, it's not a small knife. I mean, obviously, it is, from nuts to butts, it is over 9 inches. It's almost 9 and 3/8. So it is actually a very large knife. Blade length, of course, is going to be from, just a hair over 4 inches. And of that, the cutting edge is going to be about 3 3/3. Of course, millimeters I'll have to put down in the annotations. I can do one thing, though, that is a usual, regard of correctness. I can actually weigh it in grams. Excuse me, my focus is messing with me. I can weigh it in grams, and I can weigh it in ounces. So let's just do that and keep, ourselves honest here. So we do have the official 80s Podcast channel scale, and it is zeroed up. So in ounces, it is not a light knife. It is 5 5/8 ounces. Of course, in grams, that will make it. Let's see if we can't make ourselves legal here. 157 grams, 158 grams. So it is not a light knife. I mean, okay, let's just do a little comparison here. The Swiss Army, my beloved carry piece, Swiss Army, Swiss Champ, is only 10 grams more. And this thing has so many tools on board. Let's just keep ourselves honest here. Let's just do the your worker. Or work champ, or, again, I'll put it in the annotations. This one being 155. Now, this one, of course, being a little bit different. It's missing a couple tools, but it's 90% of the champ. I do actually really like this one now as a carry, because it's just a little bit skinnier, a little bit easier, and good stuff like that there. All right, so anyway, looking at things as it is, the best components of this, obviously, of course, is going to be the fact that it is came out of SEKI City, so it is the good stuff. ATS 55 was the steel that they used at the time. Obviously, they went to other steels, mostly because, well, the steel obviously is going to dictate the price of the stuff. So if they can go with a cheaper steel that's easier to machine and actually is something where they can crank it out that much better, faster, easier, cheaper, and still keep the profit up, you notice the price never drops when they go to a different steel. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to break up this one, folks. This one, of course, being the Spyderco Police. There's actually one other thing that you have to utilize for these things in terms of, like, your searches. If you do find ever one of these used, and it says PIG on the handle, that is highly collectible. If you find yourself a Spyderco Police Pig, dude, you got yourself something that is like cha-ching. And they only made them for a very short period of time. Obviously, they were made for law enforcement. And these were actually probably not utilized by the cops so much, simply because the fact that, well, you got, like, almost 7-8 ounces of steel hanging off the side of your belt. You don't need more weight when you're carrying a Sam Brown with, basically a firearm and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I tend to think in terms of that aspect, there's going to be stuff that they did carry, don't carry, and this was probably one of those don't carries. Now, they actually did make a couple iterations of this where it actually did change up the alloy handles. It did actually also have carbon fiber handles. It did actually also use FRN, which is, the polymer that they utilized at the time. And those were known as the police lights, because they actually do lose a lot of mass. Because, most of the weight of this thing is going to be these ridiculously heavy stainless steel handle slabs. But It's still a good feeling knife, and it's one of these things I'm going to have now in my collection. It may be a carry piece, it might not be a carry piece, but for the price and, getting into this thing for the purchase price that I got it for, I can't complain too terribly much. So I'm going to bring on this one, folks. Eco Grip Tongue Ring, as always, you know it, you love it. Old, collectible, Spyderco goodness. That there is top-notch stuff. I'm going to bring on this one, folks, and you guys have a good one. This one's Nightblock. See you guys.